Greetings, everyone. Tarot from the Divine here with, I've come up with a better name than the White House series. I'm going to start calling it DC Vibes. So what do y'all think? I think that's a better name. I think it'll get better attraction. And it doesn't, specifically mention in the title the White House, because I think that turns a lot of people off. So I'm just going to go with DC Vibes, and people will, they'll still be able to figure it out, but it'll be just something different. Oh, let me split these. So how y'all doing? I hope you're all doing well, having a good day. It's Tuesday, so let's see what's going on and see what's happening. Okay, we've got the Emperor card, which, as we all know, represents the president, the sitting president. Doesn't mean he's an emperor, but it's the highest card in the deck as far as rulers go. And so, since he's the highest ruler, then that's what it is. Although I'm sure he would love to be called emperor. I mean, he wants to be called king. Good grief. But anyway, keep my personal opinions out of it. We have the Eight of Cups, which is the current situation. So someone's feeling restless. They are feeling like they've either got to go with the flow or move on, which is a nice way of putting, pee or get off the pot. So what they have is already available to them, but there's something about it that they don't like, so they want to, they always want to change it. And then crossing for good or for bad is the Ten of Swords in the reverse. So there's healing and recovery ahead, a path to safety and solid ground. This is thoughts, communication, and logic. Tens are completion, and it could be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. So the situation is they're thinking about moving on from something. And in order to move on, they're probably going to have to go through some healing. The basis of the situation, the reason for the situation, is the Five of Wands. Okay, so they have to work together in harmony to end conflict, agree to disagree. Now, we've had this has been coming up the past 2 or 3 readings. So, yeah, they're having to get together and play nice and figure out how to come together. Now, Wands is, Fives are instability and conflict, and Wands are goals, creativities, and passions. So, some type of a goal, some type of a goal that they set. There's been a bunch of disagreement and probably a bunch of hurt feelings, and I don't even know if they have feelings there. Anyway, there's a bunch of, misunderstanding, miscommunication, so they have to get past it, do some healing, and they have to work together to come up with compromise. They can't go one-sided one way or the other, and that's the reason, that's how our government is supposed to work. They're supposed to work together for the betterment of the country and for the people. And I think that they forget that, they want their way. I want my way. And it's, human pride gets in the way a lot. So the hoped for outcome or possible outcome is the Seven of Cups in the reverse. So in the upright, it's options, fantasy, illusions. They could be fooling themselves, delusional thinking. In the reverse, it's overwhelming choices. They have to be honest with themselves as they look over their options and see things as they truly are. Okay, they can't go off into fantasy land going, oh yeah, wouldn't it be great if this worked and this worked, and oh look, and we can do this and this and this. No, they have to see things as they truly are and trust their intuition as to whether it will really work. But I don't even know if they have intuition. If they don't have feelings, I don't know if they could have intuition. But anyway, they do have to see things as they are. They have to step back into reality and look at what is really going to work and what's going to be best. The recent past is the Eight of Wands. Now, there could be some rapid payoff, something that they do. They're all about the quick fix. Fix it immediately. They don't like the slow, it's going to take a while to do this. It could take several terms to get this to work out, because we can only do so much in a fiscal year or a quarter or whatever. So they want rapid payoff, rapid fix. And there could be an unexpected romance. Now, in DC, an unexpected romance could be, somebody switching sides of the fence. Eights are about action and accomplishment, goals, creativity, and passions, and it could be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy, which is fire, fire is fast moving and it burns hot. So this is in the recent past. Somebody, something somebody did is paying off quickly. Immediate future is Judgment in the reverse. So there could be some clouded vision. Decisions are not going in their favor. So this rapid payoff, people want to keep that going or something like that, but it could have given someone some clouded judgment or, made some other decisions not go in their favor. Because this worked, then other stuff won't work, and that's just how it works, If this works, then this other stuff isn't going to work because this is working. That's how it works. So anyway, it's fire energy, Pluto influence. So now we're to the self, which is how the president is approaching things, and it's the King of Swords in the upright. Wow. Intellectual, analytical, clear communication, bravery, fearless, and wise is how he wants to approach it, or how he feels he's approaching it. Now, the public view of how he approaches things is completely different. But, this is the energy. This isn't the actual physical. This is the energy that we're feeling. And kings are about results, practicality, and he is all about results. And he is about practicality. I mean, he sees, in my viewpoint anyway, he sees something and he wants to take the most direct approach. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. And I have a feeling that's how he approaches a lot of things. He's a businessman, so he tries to approach it in a business-like manner. Well, what would you do if it was business? Well, you'd cut these people, you'd do these layoffs because the company isn't making money. So you have to trim the corners and trim the fat and do all of this. And that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to run the country like a business. And, people don't like that. And it's about thoughts, communication, and logic. I'm not saying it's good and I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that's what I see. Like I said, I keep my personal opinions out of it for the most part. But anyway, King of Swords, he's trying to approach it, with this intellectual approach. and be analytical and all of that. So then we have the surrounding energies, and the surrounding energies would be like his advisors and, well, just anybody around him, the thoughts and feelings of those around him. And that would be the Seven of Wands in the reverse. They underestimated him, and time to count their losses and retreat for now. So some of his opposition came at him, and they underestimated him in what he can do, or they underestimated, how seriously he's taking something, or something like that. I don't know exactly what this subject matter is. This is just the energies, floating around, and so his opposition is having to retreat and replan. It's about goals, creativity, and passions. And sevens are self-reflection and knowledge. So yeah, they're having to go and self-reflect. And he may have to too. This energy could be him as well. He could have underestimated what he could get accomplished. And he could have underestimated that, and now he's having to retreat and replan and rethink. So then the hopes and fears, celebration, balance between strength, justice, and temperance, that's the hope. Okay. Growth and teamwork, work together to accomplish a goal. It's emotions, relationships, spiritual matters, and could be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. So that's the hopes and fears. The hope is to, work together, and that's back here as well. Work together to accomplish the goal. And then the final outcome is the star, healing, forgiveness, and success. So if they are able to work together and accomplish this goal, then in that in itself will bring some healing and forgiveness, because the success, everybody will be recognized, and it's job well done by everyone. Aquarius influence, and be inspired, dreams come true. So that's the vibes coming out of DC for today. I hope you all enjoy this. Please share with your friends and family. Maybe they'll enjoy it or get a kick out of it or something like that. Anyway, I hope you all have a good day.